What's going on YouTube? H-Dub here, and we playing Raid, and today we're going to be talking about a champion that a lot of people don't really use. I had a chance to discuss this when I sat down with Final Kenpachi a few weeks ago. If you haven't checked out that video, you can check it out here. But yeah, we're going to be talking about our boy Jingwon. Now, Jingwon is a Void legendary Shadowkin champion. He has a very interesting kit, but he doesn't get a lot of love, not a ton of love. A lot of people don't have him, and if they did, they probably don't use him. But let's take a look at his kit really quickly to see why I use him on my account. I actually use this champion a ton, guys. But on the A1, attacks one enemy, transfers all debuffs from this champion to the target. The A2, attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Also places block active skills debuff for 3 turns if the target is under a decreased accuracy debuff or decreased crit damage debuff. This A2 is the primary reason that I'm using this champion, just because I use him in a poison explosion comp in the dungeons. He can solo once we get to the boss after we've cleared the waves. Everybody dies or what have you. And then he's just gonna keep extending those poisons, and then boom, the boss is dead in no time. His A3 attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit has an 80% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. The second hit has an 80% chance of placing a 25% decreased crit damage debuff for 2 turns. Also places a 25% strengthen buff on himself for 2 turns, right? So decent ability there. But you know, we're not using him for this. Decreased accuracy is a helpful skill to have, but this is not why we are primarily using him. Strengthen buff, definitely a great buff to have, but his passive ability is also amazing, right? So this champion is immune to fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, sleep, stun, and petrification debuffs. Active effect at the start of each enemy or ally turn. Removes all fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, sleep, stun, petrification debuffs from all allies, and places block debuffs for 1 turn on all allies who have debuffs removed. This passive ability is amazing. I've seen it used in Platinum Arena. Final Kenpachi, shout out to Final Kenpachi for using this champion in Platinum Arena. He is great against, Kaimar teams. If you go in second, you have a Kaimar who's trying to sleep your team, he's gonna cleanse that sleep immediately. Morgan teams, any of those teams that are provoking you, he's gonna go ahead and just cleanse that, place a block debuffs, and give you another shot at winning. This will also be decent in Hydra if it had a better cooldown. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, so it's not ideal for Hydra. It's primarily beneficial in faction wars, and we're going to take a look at that today. We're also going to take a look at the other places that I use him in the game, but let's take a look at the build that I have him in. I have him in a solo regen build at the moment, so high HP, of course, decent defense. It's not that great, only a 3k. No speed because we don't really need him taking a turn in the comp that we're using him in. 322 resist, 375 on the accuracy, so some solid solo build stats. This is a solo regen build, guys. If you're not familiar, I don't even have full masteries on this guy. This is how effective his kit is, just for what we need him to do. I don't need him to do a whole lot. I just need him to cleanse in faction wars, and I just need him to extend poisons and stay alive in the dungeons. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. The faction is open today, so let's go ahead and take a look at the faction and see where we can use him, why we're using him. So this team is very simple. We got Yoshi and lead for the speed aura. We have a Harima, Jingwon, and a ninja. No decreased defense champ. We're still getting it done, pretty quickly. My fastest run with this team is 1:15, but let's just go ahead and knock this out, so you guys could take a look at Jingwon and what he's bringing to the table here. So we're gonna go ahead and get through these waves pretty quickly. Harima is gonna knock him down. Some weak hits there, but it's fine. Got Ninja coming through with the burns. As you can see, Jingwon placed that block active skills. Now we got freeze. He's gonna take less damage, but Harima's gonna knock him down. Let's go ahead, come back around to that skill, that A2 from Harima. And then when we get to the boss, we're really going to see why, you know, we're using Jingwon and how he really shines to make this, you know, a bit more fast for us. We don't have a Rio in here to cleanse. We don't have a Rio to place block debuffs for us or any of that. So Jingwon is coming through in the clutch. I was trying to get a really fast time, and you know, Jingwon is he's the only champion that really can make that possible for my account. Obviously, we're getting weak hits here. You know, it's going to take us a little bit more time. We're moving a bit slower, but it's fine. As you can see, the boss is going to place stun and fear, and Jingwon is just going to remove it. We come through. Now we can get back to business as usual, but it is on a 4-turn cooldown, so it is not ideal. And we're pushing through. You know, it's not the fastest time, it's not my fastest run, you know, but it doesn't matter. I throw this on auto, I walk away normally, and I come back and it's done, you know. So that is what we're using him for. As you saw, the boss is going to stun and true fear. Jingwon removes it, places block debuff, so you don't lose that extra 2 turns because you're going to be stunned. You're going to have to roll over into your turn meter. Then the boss is going to take another turn. You have to wait until your turn meter fills up again. And so that is why we're using him in there. But let's go and take a look at the dungeons to see why I'm using him in the dungeon. So I use him in Ice Golem 25 and Dragon 25. We can go and take a look at the comp. In the comp, we have Xavier, Kaimar, 2 Calvalaxes, and Jingwon. You might have seen this comp being used already. My fastest time with this team is 28 seconds. It's consistently in between 28 and like 38 or so, maybe 35, right? If we truly get unlimited frames now, we can see also it requires everybody to die at the boss to get the fastest time. And you know, there's so much RNG with that. The boss can weak hit on Calvalax, even though these Calvalaxes don't have any gear on right now. So as you can see, he extended right there, and we're just waiting on the dragon to take a turn, and boom, he doesn't wipe Xavier, doesn't wipe Kaimar. It's fine. Now we're just waiting on the boss to die. He's gonna kill himself right here, and we get a 34-second run. So it's a solid team for sure. I could tweak the gear a bit more to make sure that everyone dies after the first hit, but it's not that serious. We'll go ahead and run it again just so you guys can see the mechanics again. Poison explosion, OP for these dungeons. We'll see how it fares against the new hard mode dungeons, but we didn't get all of the poisons up there. Xavier's gonna put some more poisons up for us. Good. We extend with Jingwon, and now we just wait on the dragon to kill himself. Now, the one thing about this comp is Jingwon is just like any other champion in the game that doesn't have a skill that can be resisted. He can be 3%ed, and we get a 33-second run there. So if he doesn't get 3%ed, we're good to go. But if he does in fact get 3%ed on this skill, then it is going to be a fail. He can get 3%ed on increasing this debuff duration. I use this exact same team though in Ice Golem, and it is, you know, it works, right? So you saw how fast it was. I can tell you what my fastest time is after we look at the run, but you know, poison explosion is coming through. A lot of people using Theodore to just solo these things, right? Or double Theodore, whatever they, you know, they have on their account. I don't have that guy on my account, so I'm using Jingwon. I'm using poison explosion. I got very, very lucky with pulling 2 Calvalaxes, and I've had Xavier for a long time now. We got decreased accuracy on us, but it's fine. We still increase the debuff duration, and now we just wait on the Ice Golem to kill himself. Boom, 39-second run, not bad at all. My best time is 33 seconds, but like I said, if he gets 3%ed, you know, it's probably going to fail unless he can come back around to that skill fast enough. And like I said before, this champion can be used in arena, so if you're going against a Kaimar team, he's going to do that same thing that he did against the boss in Faction Wars by removing that sleep, placing block debuffs, giving you a chance to get back in the game. I don't have an arena team set up with him. I have not used him in arena personally just because, you know, I have other champions that I use in arena and I want to keep my Jingwon in the same build. I don't want to change his gear. That costs me resources, and resources are precious in this game, guys. But hopefully this video, you know, showed you a little bit of the value that Jingwon can bring if you're using him on your account. If you have some champions that can do poison explosion, right? You don't necessarily need Calvalaxes. You can use Taurus. You can use Richtof, right? I used to use Richtof all the time to get those poisons up. He's going to put up 3 poisons for you. You can bring in a Taurus to bring up 4 more poisons for you. And, you know, depending on your Xayah build, that should be enough. Or if you have Elenaro, who's also a solid poison explosion champion, that will definitely be enough for you. My Xayah isn't built anything crazy. Literally only 6k attack. There are people with way more. These stats are achievable, especially with the speeds, you know, required for fast runs. She's not even like, I could properly crit cap her. She's way over cap, give her more crit damage, give her more accuracy, but there's room for improvement for sure. But we're here to talk about Jingwon, so thank you for watching, guys. And until next time, be good and be well.